This is possibly the biggest news that we've seen in the market this week, and it has a real impact on the NFT space moving forward. One of the biggest projects that we know, Moonbirds of Kevin Rose fame, suddenly announced a change in their IP, moving from full commercial rights to CC0, and the market didn't respond well at all. At the same time, earlier in the week, we covered Xcopy, the well known artist, doing the same, announcing their art going into a CC0 license, and the market boomed. Why the difference? Why did Xcopy boom, and why did Moonbirds tank? Why do you think the big announcement from Kevin Rose left everyone a little bitter? Leave us a comment in the notes on why you think this is a good move or a bad move from the Moonbirds community. We're also going to cover what we think this means for the broader NFT market. So smash that subscribe button, watch the video till the end, and welcome to Goats and the Metaverse. I'm excited that today we have our fellow co-host and anchor, Stanley. Welcome back to the show. Woohoo! The two of us together. It's been a while.
It's been a while. We are back. We are better than ever. And Jesus, you take a few days off in this market, shit hits the fan. This is a big pivotal moment. I know you covered on the show last week talking about Xcopy going CC0, which was a big moment in itself, but this is much bigger. But before we get into that, let's check in on the rest of the market and see how that is doing. Let's go to the videotape. ETH, Sol, and Ape are up. The crypto market is up. Everybody on Twitter is saying NFTs are going to follow. Let's see where NFTs are. Down. Lots of red over there. And CryptoPunks almost gave Apes a run for their money last week. They were about 4 Ethereum away. And Apes making a run, separating themselves from the punks, and they're the only ones that are up right now. Everybody else is down. Yasi, why is everything down?
Well, NFT market starting to move like the market that we knew before. When ETH prices start to climb, prices in ETH terms come down a bit, and we're seeing ETH now hitting at the $1,800 mark. If you had bought ETH at its low point not so long ago, about 2 weeks ago, $900, you could have got in on ETH, doubled your money. So people are saying, well, maybe ETH is the better play in this rally. And once it stabilizes, I may go back into my shiny NFTs because ETH seems to be on a tear as we get closer to the merge, which is happening soon. And people are speculating that that is going to go well, and we're going to see even higher price appreciation in the market when that happens. Some of the biggest losers, Moonbirds, which we're going to talk about during the show, down 7% since yesterday. And since the announcement that they're moving to CC0, down about 3 ETH in that time period. So it is getting crushed. People are not potentially happy with the market prices to go. Is anything to go by? Are not so happy. Stanley, tell us what happened.
So Kevin Rose made an announcement, I believe it was Thursday, saying, we have made a decision to go. Today, we're announcing the Moonbirds and Oddities are moving to CC0 public license. We believe this move honors and prospects the value of the internet and Web3 and starts a new and important phase of the project. Basically, he is saying Web3 should be CC0. And that is what they're going to be doing. Now, what CC0 means is it gives away the full license to the public. You don't actually have to own a Moonbird to go create some sort of offset of it, which is interesting. Why is it interesting? Well, for me, I think the most interesting part about it is usually the CC0 projects are saying, hey, it's CC0. It's all about the art. You guys go do whatever you want with it. There's no utility. The art is the utility. A lot of people bought into, including myself, into Moonbirds because they believe in the founders and the team to go and build this brand of Moonbirds. And all of a sudden, they turn around and said, "You guys go build a brand and do whatever you want to do with it." I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. I am a little bit disappointed. I mean, I think everybody, look, Kevin Rose and team had a very, 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 very big shoes to fill. Everybody had huge expectations. Now remember, this project minted for 2.5 Ethereum. It went all the way up to 30 Ethereum in a matter of days. The expectations was these guys are the best builders in the industry, and they're going to build, 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 build. Now, them changing the creative license makes me wonder, are they really going to go build? Are they really going to go do what they need to do? Or are they in a little bit of panic here and changing a complete course of direction because they realize maybe they don't have what it takes to go compete against Yuga? What do you think?
Well, it's one perspective, and it is a perspective that is being shared by many people on the internet, hence why we're seeing the floor price move down quite aggressively over this time period. But the other perspective is that CC0 is more Web3 native by enabling anyone to be able to use the art, make a t-shirt, make stickers, make banners. You are increasing the overall value of the entire collection. You are freeing up that IP. We've seen it with open source software. We've seen it with Linux. If you do that, it enables far more innovation and creativity around a project because you, as the license holder or the licensee, don't have to make all of those decisions. There is a school of thought. There is an argument that CC0 is net positive for the industry and for this community. We've seen it with Nouns, DAO, one of the first CC0 projects to do it in a serious way. And Nouns DAO, still today, Nouns every day minting at 100 ETH price points, commanding a very large price point for a PFP project and able to do that consistently. So a project with great success, and the team there are still very actively involved. So I'm not sure if it's signaling that the team are saying that they can't do this. What it's saying is we want to take a different approach, maybe, to Yuga Labs. We don't want to be the license holders here and enabling the full commercial rights and then you going out and doing it. And then we have the responsibility of cease and desist letters for anyone who is infringing on that license right. The challenge comes in is that's not what I bought. That is not what I signed up for. I paid top dollars, potentially 30 ETH. At the time, ETH was probably around $3,000. I paid $90,000. I paid $100,000 for my Moonbird with the knowledge that I had the full commercial rights for this Moonbird, and I may have had a plan to do something with that. And all of a sudden, you changed that. There was no consultation. There was no discussion. It was just a unanimous decision. Hey, here's some good news. We're doing this. A lot of people thought, well, that isn't good news. One person in particular tweeted out that they had a 6-figure commercial deal that was about to be signed, and they lost that deal at the back of the CC0 news. That is a heavy loss to take for an individual, but that is the kind of sentiment that is out there that's saying, hold on, we weren't consulted in this. Why was this decision made without consultation? It may be the right decision. We may even be able to support it, but it was never discussed, and it isn't how we were sold this project to start off with. And that, for someone like Kevin Rose, is where he's getting the majority of the criticism. For a great operator that people trust in, well, that does not feel authentic to the community.
And I think the biggest issue is that, like you said, he had such large shoes to fill. He's under a microscope. We talked about on the show a few weeks ago where they sent out socks and a fanny pack for the silver staking. Now we're changing our commercial rights. One does question, do they actually know what they're doing? Do they actually have a plan? Do they actually have a strategy? Or are they kind of winging it? And I don't want to say the word winging it. They're kind of seeing what happens next and let the market dictate that, right? And this is where, like, if you look at Yuga, and I hate to compare everything to Yuga, they're the only project that has over-delivered consistently, right? And for those people that bought that project for 1 ETH, 3 ETH, 5 ETH, 10 ETH, whatever that is, if you bought into it over a year ago, you got your money back plus some, right? Now, everybody else has really large shoes to fill, and it seems like they're falling off. I don't want to say completely, but very, very close. And the question.
Well, I don't know if that's fair. I don't know if you guys over-delivered consistently. If you got in early, obviously you made a lot of money.
If you got in early.
If you got in early, you made a lot of money. If you got in early, you still made some good money on Moonbirds. You are still, even at today's prices, up. You bought into other deeds. Well, you've lost money. 2.08 floor price. You had to buy in at other deeds at 2.5, and ETH price was much higher. Bored Apes are down from their highs of about 150 ETH to 84 ETH. Same with Mutants. So, there is some pressure along the board across all of these projects. So I do think it may be a little unfair to say that they're the only ones who have over-delivered. But your point is fair. The expectations were high on Moonbirds. 2.5 ETH mint price, made $85 million on that initial sale, was the talk of the town during the 2 to 3 weeks of that sale. Most money we've seen going into collection and most rapid increase in floor price. And is that Kevin Rose's fault? Well, maybe. He does have 1.8 million followers on Twitter, and he has a huge podcast, so he has a big megaphone. And maybe it's him partly to blame on the hype around the project, and maybe this is just coming back down to reality on how hard it is to execute these kind of communities where utility is the name of the game, where it isn't about the art, where it's about the utility. Xcopy did the same thing, released a CC0, released the rights to CC0, and his works started to rise. Community responded positively. Why is it different?
Because he's one of the biggest names in the space when it comes to art. I don't think anybody bought Moonbirds for the sake of art. I think they bought into it for the sake of utility. And now that utility has changed. The conversation we had before, art versus utility. It's a big, big, big difference. I mean, look, let's see what happens. And hopefully Kevin Rose can dig out of this and prove everybody wrong. And if he does, I think he's going to be rewarded because everyone is going to say, hey, I was wrong about this. And Kevin Rose paved his own way and did it his way. But I do think, in my personal opinion, I don't want to use the word panic, but there's something there that's I don't know if there's really a strategy in place. I think they're kind of changing based on market conditions and how the whole NFT space is changing, which may be the right way of doing it or may be the wrong way of doing it. We'll find out, and you guys will be along the ride with us. And leave us a note in the comments. Let us know, was it the right decision or the wrong decision? Do you agree with this or do you disagree with this? We would love to hear from you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Yasi, always a pleasure to see you, my friend. And we'll see you guys back here tomorrow for another episode of Goats in the Metaverse. So hit that subscribe button, and we'll see y'all tomorrow.